This is Kayla Cox with the Unfiltered Lens. Today I'm by myself. I kind of want to do this every so often, every few weeks, just to kind of come in contact with you guys and tell you what's going on in my brain. So within these past few weeks, I've had a lot of interviews that have, everyone has their different view on things, okay? Some people think that a 5 year plan is good. Some people think having a year plan is good. Some people think having an end goal that you want to accomplish in your life is good. I am very OCD and type A person, so I love having a plan. Um, but going throughout college and kind of growing up, that plan, once you're entering your adulthood, plans change and it's hard. It was hard for me to kind of understand that and accept those things. I have told you guys, I think that I thought of medical originally, maybe being a nurse, ultrasound tech, dental hygienist. And I took prereq classes and it was not fun. I did not enjoy it, which not a lot of people do in those careers anyway. Um, but I also shadowed and I kind of stepped back and I was like, is this actually something that I want to do for the rest of my life? By this point, I was kind of sitting at maybe my beginning of my sophomore year in college. And this was not an easy pill to swallow because changing your plans that you've had from the beginning of high school to your second year of college feels like you're kind of at an all time low. It feels like there might not be anything else out there. I never thought of anything else besides medical. And so I kind of felt like I was really at a ground zero and didn't have any idea what I was going to do. And it was really difficult for me to go about that. And I actually have found I have a lot of friends that have gone through this. And since I changed my major, which I have told you guys that I ended up doing career tests, talking to multiple counselors, and kind of really having to put a lot of trust in myself and sit down with myself and be like, what do I want? In this world, what do I want to do? And it's really hard to understand that you are the only person very important in your own brain, okay? You have to, plenty of other people may say this career is going to be great for you. Like once you may have told them when a few years ago. And so thinking that you might want to change career paths or whatever is really discouraging because you're like, well, everyone says I could be good at this, but you don't really know. You don't know if you need to please yourself. Like, am I taking this risk to try out a new career and maybe it doesn't work? Or maybe I don't like it. So my debacle was kind of just if I got a degree in medical and if I didn't like it, then I had a degree in something that I couldn't do anything with. Um, and I love writing, but everyone has always told me like, don't get a degree in English. You can't do much with it. And I kind of listened to them. So I talked to counselors and looked into communications, and it turned out I could do a whole bunch of different things. So if I ever get bored of potentially going into social media marketing, then I can do things like journalism. I can do news broadcasting, or there's so many other options that I can do, which is why I chose this degree. So I've had a couple friends text me and say like, Kayla, I know you switched your degree. Like, how did you do that? How did you feel about doing it? What were you thinking? And this specific friend was upset with, she was medical, she was upset with where she was at, and she was just like, I don't think it's for me, but I feel like I'm too late to change. And it's never too late, okay? Because even if you think about like a whole bunch of millionaires have done so many different things in their life, and maybe they come into something in their 30s and hit it big by their 40s. You never know what's going to happen. Our world is changing every single day. You can't be buckled down to one thought and then, you change as a person. You're not the person you were in high school, and you can't think that you are. You can't convince yourself that you are the same person. So sometimes it's going to change. But my mom growing up knew she wanted to be a nurse since day one, and it had never changed. And for some people, that's how it is. And that's awesome. I praise you. But that wasn't me. I changed it multiple times and I felt discouraged because I knew, going medical was something that could be good for me, and it's steady. It will always be there. Nothing will happen to it. But I just didn't feel happy. I didn't feel like it was my passion. And so after that, I felt like I had nothing really. But I just wanted to kind of tell you guys that no matter what type of person you are, how you think your plans should be set, if you don't have a plan for right now, that's okay. Like, you'll figure it out. If you're just kind of making money to survive right now in your early 20s, that's okay. Like, if you want to do that and nothing is jumping out at you right now, that's okay, as long as you're kind of, at least you have a job and somewhat of a plan. But then if you're also a person that wants to have a plan and go about maybe a 5-year plan or a 1-year plan, or go through that, but you have to understand that you're going to change and things are going to happen in your life. People are going to come and go, and you have to understand that that's the way the world works. So with all of these different opinions, people that I have interviewed, because some people say they don't want a plan. They don't want a plan. They just want, by the time I'm 40, I want to have done this. And, or it's this year, I want to have this done. But you have to be realistic with yourself that sometimes those things aren't going to be done, and you need to adjust to how your life is going and how the world is. And you can't be discouraged by that. And a big thing that I've talked about in plenty of interviews is that, like even with my podcast, it was discouraging to start something and put myself out there, when I knew that people might go on my social media pages and be like, what is she doing? Like, I don't know. It was kind of embarrassing. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Like this, I don't want people to think differently of me or just look at me like, why is she doing this? Wasting your time, whatever. But I knew that this was going to be something that I could show to employers and, kind of just prove myself in some sort of way and feel like I am saying something and having a voice for other people that may not. So a lot of videographers that I have talked to, sports videographers, have said that, they had to do the same thing. They liked doing something, but it was going through that like, like, what are people going to think? Am I going to do this and it's going to flunk? It can happen. It can happen, but I don't think you should ever give up on those things. Just like school will get hard, life will get hard, and you'll feel like you're low, you can't get up. But all I have to say is that never give up. You have people around you that love you and that support you, even if you may not see it right in front of you. They are there. So really just try to follow through. And I even had, this is just the smallest thing, like the most tiny little thing. But I had a friend from high school reach out and tell me that she watched one of my recent interviews, and she said it helped her and made her feel better about her situations. And, I wasn't even expecting for people to watch my stuff and actually, I guess, watch it with meaning. Because, I'm a 20-year-old girl, and who knows, maybe I'm just doing this for myself. I don't know. But I didn't have high expectations because I knew this was pretty ballsy to do, and it might take a lot to actually make it turn into something. But I wasn't really expecting much, just from the beginning, that I'm going to try, and wherever it goes, it goes. But this friend had reached out to me and just told me that I helped her with her situation and she said she needed to hear some of the words, that were said in this interview. And it felt like a win. Like, even though it was the smallest thing, it felt like I had done something to help someone else. And I think it's days like that you need to think about, that maybe if you want to start your own thing, it's going to be rough and it's going to be hard. You're going to have times where you're like, I don't know what to do next. Or you're going to have times where you feel like nothing's happening and you don't know what to do. But I have looked up, done a whole bunch of research, that You can't just try for a little bit. You need to try. You need to start at ground zero, and maybe you're still at ground zero for a while. But you need to put yourself out there and kind of get through it. So with all of this, I just wanted to tell you guys that just keep going. You're not behind. No one's ahead. I'm graduating a year early, but I know that doesn't mean, like, just because I'm a year early doesn't mean that I'll get a job right away or that I'll be making the amount of money that I want to make. Jobs right after college typically don't pay a lot, and that's something that we kind of need to accept. College can be kind of something that our society tells you to do, even though a lot of people have jobs where they don't use their college degree. So just think about that, and I really, really encourage you to, if you feel like you don't know what's coming or what you're doing as like a 20-year-old young adult, I encourage you to really sit down and take some personality tests, talk to different people in different careers, and take career tests and kind of see what you think of your top careers and your personality traits, because certain personality traits will tie into certain careers. And think about that. Look at the schooling for it. Look at if it's trade school or if it's something you can just do, and just follow it, because that's really all that is important. You need to. I realize I am very much a people pleaser, and that's really difficult when kind of deciding what you want to do. And because a lot of people say, I have a couple of friends that are teachers that are like, you as a teacher, you might not make a lot of money, but if that's your passion, then you'll figure it out. You'll figure out how to make it work. And I think you kind of can't listen to those other people and what their thoughts are. And you need to just sit with yourself and figure it out. Like Billy Fiore said in her interview, that you need to sit in your own, like, sit in your own sense and kind of just realize that this is where I'm at and this is what I want to make of it. And you can only go up from there. And I think that is so important, because as some people even get through 3 years of college and change their mind. And that sucks money wise. But if you don't want to get a degree in something you're not going to use. And I highly encourage you, don't go to school because you feel like you have to go to school. Wait until you're sure of what you want to do. Talk to different people in different careers. And there's just so much out there that people do for a living and we have no idea about. This is another thing that I initially started this podcast with the idea of, is that high school taught me those 10 to 15 careers, and outside of that, I really didn't know anything. But you think about it, like there's people that install water systems inside houses or big buildings in case of fire, and there's so many random jobs that make good money that we really don't know about. So ask all of the people that are close to you and see what they do, and see if it's something that you might be interested in. And I just encourage you to just be yourself and figure out what's going to make you happy in your future. You don't have to have it figured out right now, but have small goals for yourself. If you don't know what you're going to do, have a goal that, like, maybe this year I want to get my own apartment, or I want to have a certificate in this, or I want to think about college or look at colleges, or just have those little goals set for yourself and just keep pushing, because the world we live in is not meant for young adults, which sucks. At least in America, we are not. I don't know. I know a couple of people that live on their own, but a majority of people that I know can't afford to, which obviously that's how it is, because things are just so expensive. And there's so many things that, like, growing up, that I didn't know how to do. High school didn't teach me that. College didn't really teach you that. So things like interest, finances, mortgages, just those important things in life that you need to know. At least my high school did not teach me. So I think that maybe that could be something else that I start interviews for. So if you're curious and you want to learn more about those things, pay attention to my next couple interviews, because I'd like to talk about those things and maybe inform you guys on things that I at least didn't know and had to figure out on my own. But I don't know, I really appreciate you guys listening, and I know I forget all the time. I have plenty of people watching, but please click the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and I hope you guys have a good day.